Welcome to our second episode. My name is MJ, the MC of CaTalk. Korea. What pops into your mind first when you think about Korea? Kimchi, or Yeona Kim, or Psy? Well, there's a Canadian who loves Korea more than Koreans. The second guest of CaTalk. Let's check it out.
형 안녕하세요. 네.
오랜만이야.
네. 저 캐나다에서 온 알렉스라고 합니다.
Alex.
Alex.
Good to meet you.
네, nice to meet you too.
한국말도 하세요?
예, 한국말 하셔도 돼요. 예, 한국말 하셔도 돼요.
와.
추억이 될 때까지 우리 두 사람 서로의 쉴 곳이 되어주리.
So I'm here at home now, and we have some guys who are doing some filming. So they're getting their cameras and stuff ready. This is going to be filming for like an interview and a kind of show. So should be fun. So we're just basically getting ready to film now. You can see behind me setting up the mic. I got my fancy mic right here and my lapel mic, and then we got the cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, let's go.
All right, Alex. Can you briefly tell me about your life?
Sure, yeah. I was born in North Vancouver in 1989 and moved around quite a bit as a kid. I lived in Nova Scotia for about a year and a half. I lived in Edmonton for about 6 years. And I came back to Vancouver and I lived in Surrey for 2 years. And then I moved to California and I lived there for 6 years. And now I'm back in Vancouver. I went to University of British Columbia here in Vancouver for 2 years. And then I found a job that I liked, so I decided that I would start working there.
That's good.
So that's the company that I work for now.
I understand. Yes. Can you just introduce your company and organization and what do you do at Link, actually?
Sure, yeah. Link is a language learning website.
Language learning.
Yeah, so it's for people who are interested in learning a different language. So on the site we have 11 different languages that we support. So that's English, French, Spanish, German, various other different languages. We have Korean as well. I've been working there for 3.5 years. And we're a smaller company, so it's kind of like a startup. So I end up doing a lot of different things there. But primarily I do marketing, and I do customer service, and I'm starting to do more product management for the company.
How many customers do you guys have right now? Like,
well, we have...
Can you just count it?
Yeah, because we have a website that people use all over the world. We actually have around 500,000 users on the site. Yeah. 500,000? Yeah. So many.
We have people from all sorts of different countries. It's really cool.
How many languages do you speak?
Me, in order of proficiency, English is my native language. Next would be Korean. And then after that would be French, and Chinese would be last.
So
and Japanese I know a little bit, but...
So 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Can you say like, I love CaTalk in those languages? First of all, Korean and Japanese and...
Japanese, my Japanese is really bad, but I can do the others. I can do the others.
I love CaTalk.
I love CaTalk. English. 카톡을 사랑합니다. Korean.
100%.
J'adore CaTalk.
What's that?
This is French.
J'adore CaTalk.
J'adore.
J'adore.
J'adore. And then last is 我爱 CaTalk.
我爱 CaTalk. Chinese.
Chinese, yeah. I don't remember in Japanese.
Okay.
Say I love.
I'll pass it.
Yeah.
Why? What was the reason you just learned a lot of languages?
For me, I don't really enjoy learning languages.
Really?
It's really difficult.
Oh.
It takes so much time. What I enjoy, and for me, the value and the benefit of learning a language is that I can establish more relationships, I can meet more people, I can understand the world more.
So you think the relationship is really important?
Absolutely, yeah. So for me, the biggest reason for learning Korean, and the reason why I continue learning Korean, even though I've been learning 6 years, the reason I stay motivated is because I have so many Korean friends. I have so many Korean people that I've met,
And I look at those experiences and I say, the only reason I had those experiences is because I've spent the time to learn Korean. Because if I go to Korea and I don't speak any Korean,
Exactly.
my experience will be very different than if I go to Korea and I can communicate with anyone in the country.
How did you learn Korean language?
My Korean's not perfect. I would say it's pretty good, but there's definitely room to grow.
Yeah.
There's definitely room to grow. How did I learn? Really, I learned through a lot of exposure. When I started learning Korean,
just like a baby.
Yeah, like I went to a Korean church, and I was with a bunch of Korean people.
I'm really familiar with that church.
Yeah, so the sermons were in Korean. You know, the worship was in Korean. People were talking in Korean, and so for me, it was actually quite difficult. And I imagine it's the same for a child. If you don't understand the things around you, it can be frustrating sometimes. But for me, I persevered and I continued to apply myself to that. And so that I would, in my free time on my own, I would read textbooks, but I would also watch Korean dramas or watch Korean movies. I would find Korean blogs that were interesting. And I would meet with friends and I would talk with friends. And slowly I just, through this exposure to the language and through hearing people around me speaking Korean so much, I just picked it up more naturally. And it wasn't easy by any means, but I think it's allowed me to develop a more natural Korean fluency than someone who just studies from textbooks or in the classroom. I didn't learn very much in the classroom at all. Most of it was through one-on-one interaction or just time spent on my own. Reading things in Korean, listening to things in Korean. Yeah.
I understand. Oh, and you just studied, as far as I know, your major was Asian Studies, I think, in UBC. Why did you choose that major?
So when I was accepted to UBC, one of the first things I did was I looked at what majors they offered, and I wanted to major in Korean.
Why?
I was very motivated to major in Korean because around that time, I had already started learning Korean. I'd been learning for about a year, and I wanted to continue down that path. And I wanted to continue to improve my Korean, learn more about Korean culture, history, politics, things like that. And I was really disappointed to find out that at UBC, they only had a Korean minor, not a Korean major.
Exactly.
So I thought, well, what's the next closest thing? Asian Studies. And if I do Asian Studies, then I can take courses on different aspects of Korea. I can learn more about Korean culture, and I can learn more of the language too. And so I thought, well, that to me makes the most sense. I'll do Asian Studies with a focus then in Korea.
What was the most impressive historic event in your study about Korea?
I would say, so I took courses that ranged from pre-modern Korean history, so like Goguryeo and way back, thousands of years ago.
Interesting.
All the way to modern day Korea, the last 20 years. But I think really the most interesting thing and the most surprising thing about it was a very simple fact that in 1950, when the Korean War took place, Korea was so much of Korea was destroyed, and basically everyone was starting from square one. There were no tall buildings, there was nothing. Nobody had any money or anything. And that from that point, and now a little more than 60 years later, Korea has become this metropolis, this amazing country with on the cutting edge of technology.
We just call it miracle of Palm River.
Yeah, and it's, to me, that's the most amazing thing, to look at other countries like the United States, who has been developing slowly over hundreds of years, and to see Korea just explode onto the
20
scene.
years, 20, 30 years only. Yeah, and what was the power of the Korea to just develop that much really quickly?
Yeah, well, I think it's something that not every country can do. I think that if Canada was in the same situation, that you wouldn't see that kind of development within 60 years. I think that really at the core of it, what I've seen is that Korean people are very passionate. They work very hard.
Very hard.
And they're motivated to succeed. And I think that because of the combination of them having lost everything and wanting to gain it back, and also having the ability to to persevere and to continue and to not give up in that scenario allowed them to continue to grow and to grow in such a short period of time. And I think it's that drive and the passion that really was one of the key factors in Korea's growth.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Dokdo Issue in Korea? It's kind of like really sensitive issue between Japan and Korea. Yeah. What do you think about it? What's your opinion?
Well, I've definitely I've heard more about the issue from the Korean side, mostly because most of my friends are Korean. I don't know a lot about it, but I think that what I've seen is that it's one of those issues where I think Korea definitely feels more strongly about it, and I think that there are definitely tensions between Korea and Japan, and if to Japan, I don't think that island means very much, but to Korea it means a lot.
Exactly.
And I think that because of that, one of the main things for me is I think it's important to help heal the relationship between Korea and Japan, and to try and harmonize further. I think that if Japan would accept the fact that Korea is the proper owner of that land, that I think it would help significantly to help that relationship.
So you think that Korea is a proper owner of the island?
Yeah, I think that, I don't know much about the history of Dokdo, but what I do know, I think that in my mind, it makes sense that Korea would be the owner of that.
A lot of evidences and proof like that island belongs to Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you think so as well, right?
So part 1 is done. Part 1 was in English, and it's easy. English is easy for me. No, I'm kidding. But we're about to start with part 2 now. Here, I'll give you the 360 view, and then we'll move on to part 2, which is the Korean part. So this will be all in Korean, which should be fun. Yeah, we have our fancy lights here. You can see, and then they're just getting the cameras ready and stuff. And here's my host.
자, 드디어 기다리던 생 캐네디언, 생 백인 알렉스의 한국말을 감상하실 시간입니다. 네. 한국 가본 적 있으세요?
예, 저는 5번 가봤고요.
네네네.
다 거의 여행으로 가본 거고요.
언제 처음 간 거예요?
첫 번째 갔을 때는 2007년 12월 크리스마스 다음 날에.
왜 처음에 그냥 뭐 호기심 때문에?
그건 아니었고요. 아는 형이 여기 밴쿠버에서 만나게 됐고요. 근데 그 형이 그때 비자가 끝나가지고 그래서 한국으로 돌아갔어야 되는데 그래서 그 형이랑 너무나 친해서 내가 한국으로 가면은 아마 그 형이랑 같이 가면 좋겠다는 생각으로 비행기표 갑작스럽게 끊고 가버렸어요.
그러면 여행하는 동안 뭐 어디 가봤어요?
일단은 서울에서 머물렀고요. 근데 그 형은 전주 사람이라서 그래서 전주 익산도 내려가고 그 다음에는 그때 여기 밴쿠버에서 아는 그 선생님께서 강화 사람인데 강화도 그래서 거기 자기 고향으로 가봤고요. 저는 거기에서 있는 선생님의 친구들을 만나게 되고요. 또는 네, 아마 첫 번째 갔을 때 거기까지 가봤던 것 같아요.
재밌었어요?
재밌었죠.
전주는 뭐 맛있는 게 되게 많을 텐데.
전주 비빔밥.
비빔밥 맛있었어요?
네.
네.
맛있었어요.
한국 음식 중에 어떤 음식 제일 좋아해요?
일단은 갈비고요. 근데 또 생각해 보니까 제 한국 세 번째 갔을 때 제주도 갈 기회가 생겼는데요. 그래서 거기 제주로 갔는데 고등어 조림 처음으로 먹어봤고요. 너무 맛있어요. 진짜 맛있어요. 네.
제주도가 한국에서 제일 좋았던 뭐 도시나 장소나 이런 거는?
뭐 서울은 되게 크고 놀라운데 제주는 제일 좋았던 것 같아요. 너무 저는 하와이 가본 적이 없는데 근데 제주도 갔을 때 하와이는 이런 느낌이겠구나 라는 생각이 들었고요. 네, 너무 편안하고 되게 자유롭고 너무 또 따뜻하고 네.
So I'm here now in Jeju, and I'm just gonna turn around so you guys can see the view. It's pretty nice. This is the proof that I'm here. I ain't just playing with y'all, so it's good. I'm gonna take a picture of those islands over there. Good afternoon, world. I'm here again in Jeju at the top of a mountain. Just to prove it, let me show you. Let me just walk over here. But overall, it's quite good, it's quite nice, and I'm enjoying it. Just another reason to come to Jeju. Yeah.
한국 처음 갔을 때 막
네.
처음에 컬처 shock 약간 좀 이런 부분 참 이해하기 어렵다, 이런 거 참 생소하다라고 생각하는 거 있었어요?
글쎄요. 저는 그래도 이렇게 마음이 좀 열리는 사람이라서 그래서 그냥 보는 것을 이거 이상하다 생각하는 것 대신에 다르구나.
다르구나.
그래서 저희 문화에서도 이렇게 캐나다 사람 볼 때는 이렇게 다르게 하는 사람도 있잖아요. 그래서
다양하다.
그거 볼 때는 야 진짜 이상하다 생각하는 것 대신에 신기하다.
그렇지.
네, 그래서 컬처 shock보다는 되게 호기심이 많았던 것 같아요.
신기한 거는 뭐 어떤 거 있었어요?
신기한 것은 또는 뭐 길거리에서 술을 마시는 것?
여기서 안 되니까.
이런 것들을 보면은
뭐 알렉스한테 끼쳤던 영향이라든지 뭐 삶의 변화가 있었다든지 아니면 이런 부분들을 내가 다시 한번 생각해보게 됐다든지 뭐 그런 거 있어요?
네 확실하게 있었어요. 저에게는 되게 뭐 할아버지 나이가 드신 사람 만나면 그냥 저랑 나이 비슷한 사람과 같이 똑같이 말을 하는데 한국어로 얘기할 때는 나이가 많으시면 그러면 주의를 해야 하고 좀 더 존경을 해야 하고
그렇지.
그래서 그런 느낌을 그런 부분을 이제 봤을 때 이렇게 해야 하겠구나. 저는 할아버지 할머니 볼 때는 아니면 아저씨 아줌마를 볼 때는 그냥 뭐 이렇게 비슷하게 생각했는데 네, 그 사람들을 존경을 받을 만한 분이시구나. 또는 그 사람이 이제 저보다 오래 살았고 확실하게 저보다 지식을 많이 갖고 있는 것이 아니더라도 그래도 경험을 많이 했고
그렇지.
또 어려움을 많이 겪지 않았을까 싶어서 그 사람이 되게 올려야 되고 네, 그런 겸손한 마음으로.
그래서 한국 사람들이 사실 처음 보면은 사실 첫 번째, 두 번째 물어보는 게 나이를 물어보게 되는 경우가 많죠. 왜냐면 존칭을 어떻게 해야 될지에 대해서 생각을 하게 되니까.
그쵸.
존칭이 있다는 것에 대해서 어떻게 생각해요? 랭귀지 안에.
글쎄요. 좋은 점도 있고 나쁜 점도 있죠. 어떻게 보면은 여기 서양 문화 조점이 이제 나이 상관없이
그렇지.
그냥 친절하게 친하게
맞아. 너도 나도 친구가 될 수도 있고
서로의 생각을 나누고 그럴 수도 있는데
그렇지.
한국 문화에서는 자기보다 나이가 어르신 분이시라면 그럼 그분의 말씀을 들어야 되고
조심스럽지.
자기의 입장을 거의 뭐 편하게 이야기할 수도 없고 좀 더 조심해야 하니까 그래서 좀 더 자유롭지 않게
맞아.
어떻게 그렇게 볼 수도 있고요. 네.
알렉스한테 한국은 뭐죠? 한국 또는 한국인.
그렇죠. 한국은 저에게 무엇이냐고 대답할 때는 저는 이렇게 생각해요. 한국이 왜 특이하냐고. 한국은 이제 나라가 뭐 특이하긴 한데 문화도 특이하긴 한데 한국 사람들이 제일 특이한 부분은 되게 열정적이고 또는 정이 많아서 네, 그건 바로 저에게 제일 잘 어울리는 것 같아요. 저도 열정적인 사람이고 또는 정이 많은 사람이라서
캐릭터가 좀 많네요.
예,
사람들이.
그래서 아마 그것 때문에 이제 처음에 한국에 대해서 알아갔을 때 한국 사람들이 이랬는지 몰랐고요. 근데 이제 경험해 보니까 또 한국도 가 보니까 한국 사람들 만나 보니까 되게 비슷한 것 같아요. 저는 이렇게 사고 방식이 다르지만 그래도 마음이 비슷한 것 같아요. 네.
Alright, we're taking a break because it's hot in here. It's like a sauna. You see everybody with their little fans. Because these big fancy lights. So we had to pause. I'm getting all sweaty. So we opened the window, opened some doors, and hopefully it should be better. Here's the cards for the show. Yeah. Gonna do it properly. Here we go. Yeah. Anyway, it's already like, I don't know, 9 o'clock, so everybody's getting a little tired, but we will keep going.
안녕하세요, 여러분. 저 제주도에 와 있는데요. 여기 바다가 이름 뭘까요? 뭐였죠?
중문해수욕장.
중문해수욕장. 그러니까 입수하겠습니다. 1박 2일 많이 보니까 재밌겠다고 생각하니까 가러 가겠습니다.
파이팅!
안녕.
와, 멋지다. 점프해 점프. 괜찮아? 자.
그래도 좋습니다. 제주도 한번 와보세요. 아니 이거 제주도 놀러 오세요.